How do you see a fight with Wilder going?
With me and Wilder, listen, you see, a lot of people get intimidated and get scared by Wilder by the things he says and the way he behaves and the way he carries himself, but I'm not scared of him. And like I said, people go, oh, but he's knocked out this one of the guys. I said, listen, if you're in the same way different as someone and you're scared of them, go and get a job. You know, you can't be scared of these guys. And I've seen the behavior that he does and the things he said, like he wants to kill people and all that. That stuff means nothing to me. From where I come from and I was brought up and the things I've faced in my life, that means nothing to me. I know sometimes when people are insecure, they say over the top things to try and scare. That's like even... you see it time and time again, guys say things because they're nervous. They're trying to hide something deep inside of them, so they try to be overly, with me, what you see is what you get. I don't care. I'll say what I feel like saying and do whatever I feel like doing. That's all the talking. What about in the ring? How do you beat him? It'd be hard beating him, especially early doors, because early doors he'll try and move a lot and try and be tricky and be cagey. But if he can take his right hand away, which, as a fighter, as Barry would tell you, I would say it's easy. For normal people to think, oh, it's hard to take his right hand away, but as a fighter, you know what to do. And then, you look at these guys and you're thinking, okay, he's got power, he's fast, but I always find a way. In all of my fights, I find a way to damage these guys. Even though one fight I lost, I find a way to hurt these guys. And I'm very good at analysing and looking at this and I think, okay, you made this mistake, you made that mistake. I think with Deontay Wilder, you just got to stay on his right side and just keep hitting his body. You're going to be able to fight him at range and close. A lot of people think if you fight him at range, it's dangerous, but as a fighter, you can fight someone taller than you at range and still use the range against them. So I know what to do. Obviously, I'd have to be in shape. I know I have to train hard, but I know what to do. And I believe if it's a shootout and me and him start slugging it, then that's a very good chance of knocking him out.
Those are the words of Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. Now, this is important, and I want to counterpunch this because we've heard the reasons why, in part of that, on outside the politics on why Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder haven't faced each other. Okay, but we've rarely seen the actual strategy on how Dillian Whyte would do if he managed to get in there. If he managed to get in the ring, get the fight with Deontay Wilder, what strategy, what tactics would he use to fight Deontay Wilder? Like he said, Deontay's fast and he can be a bit cagey. Okay, moving on. He is fast, he's tall, he's lanky. Okay, so he doesn't give you much to work with. He spreads his legs wide apart. He narrows his body so he becomes less of a target. And the only really thing you see when he squares up, he has wide shoulders, okay, broad shoulders. But then he went on to say, you can fight him at a distance, which I wouldn't do. And then you can fight him mid-range, which I would do if I'm Dillian Whyte. If I'm Dillian Whyte, I would want to put combinations in mid-range, go to his right, stay on his right, like he mentioned. Stay on his right side because his right side is the far more dangerous side. I don't even think his left side is dangerous, because his left side, his jabs and his left hook, you have to watch the jab, and the only reason you watch the jab because you know the right hand's following it. If he paused, jab, jab, right hand, jab, right hand, left hook. But the left hook is just something that he'll throw to throw you off. I noticed in the Luis King Kong Ortiz fight, he did throw awkward left hooks to the body. And a lot of people think that threw Ortiz off. It did not. Okay, and I'll cover that later. But with Wilder, you have to pay attention to his right hand. Okay, only his right hand and his jab. And his jab, again, because it sets up the right hand. Okay, and he is a kind of a guy that he knows what he has, because he's a guy that only banks on one thing: him knocking you out. with the same punch, though. It won't be a left hook. It won't be a uppercut. It won't be any of that. It will be a right hand coming from wherever angle he can throw it from. That's his only game, but it's a very effective one because you can ask anybody, including the guys that's supposed to be the best boxers in the world like Tyson Fury, and he put Tyson Fury down twice. Okay, this is a very interesting interview or whatnot, because Dillian Whyte showed the strategy that he would actually take. Now, let me break down what's wrong with what Dillian Whyte said. For one, if he said if you can get in a firefight and slug it out with Deontay Wilder, first of all, you're talking about a fighter that does not like to slug. He loves to punch and throws one punch. Each punch coming from a fighter that believes in every right hand and every knockout blow that he throws. He believes that that's going to knock you out. So what does that mean? He's not going to throw a 50% right hand. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in each right hand has knockout written all over it. That's Deontay Wilder. That's what makes him so dangerous. It's like playing Mike Tyson Punch-Out when you were little. I grew up playing Nintendo. When Mike Tyson comes out, he throws the uppercuts like that, and each of those punches will knock you out. If he hits you with one of those punches, you're gone. You're out. You know, and you only have so many times, I think it's twice, then you can't even get up no more, right? Those are the right hands that Deontay possesses. He ain't going to throw half-ass right hands because his game plan is to knock you out. His game plan is not to firefight it. So if you know that, he won't slug with you. That's not his style. Okay? He wants enough distance to land his right hand like he did with Brazil, like he did with Ortiz, like he did with Tyson Fury. But all these guys stood in front of him. Tyson Fury, he thought that he had this guy beat because he didn't respect his boxing ability and really underestimated that this guy can punch. So if you stand in front of him, this is what you're going to get. At any time you stand in front of him, any type of seconds or any type of stance of time, he's going to throw the right. If he sees it, there it is. Boom. Lights out. Because he's punching every one of those right hands, he's punching with 100% force behind it. That's what makes Deontay Wilder so dangerous. It's not his skill. It's not anything else. He's fast. He's tough. He is tough because his mentality is, look, I can take your punches. I'm not the best boxer, but the answer is, the question is, can you take mine? That's Deontay Wilder. So with Dillian Whyte going mid-range, or he's saying that, oh, I can fight him at an angle even though he's taller, that can get him in trouble. Even though Dillian Whyte does have a good jab himself, but the question you ask yourself about Dillian Whyte, you look at the history. If he does get a fight with Deontay Wilder, and he does get Deontay Wilder hurt, what do you think he's going to do? If he hurts Deontay Wilder with a left hook and he gets him in the corner, and he's going in for the kill, what do you think is going through Dillian Whyte's mind? I finally got this motherfucker. I want to put him out. Do you think for a second that he can't put himself in a situation to get knocked out himself? Right? Due to, 800 days of waiting, being the number one, the WBC silver. Right? And he gets this opportunity. He gets in there and he actually throws that left hook that slaps down on Deontay Wilder's face, and Deontay buckles his legs, do a little dance, or his legs stiffen up. What do you think he's going to do at that point? He could get overzealous, put himself in the line. Wilder could come back, throw that right hand, and could automatically knock him out also. So it's one of those things where that fight is so intriguing because of the aggressiveness from Dillian Whyte, because he is a dog. He will come to fight. But it makes it so dangerous because I can see all types of ways that Deontay Wilder can throw that right hand. Okay? But, like Dillian Whyte said, and this is very important about Ortiz. Now, back to Ortiz. Ortiz was doing well on both fights. He beat Deontay Wilder more rounds than Deontay Wilder beat him. And that's a fact. However, Deontay Wilder had the equalizer. He was able to land that right hand. The first time he landed that right hand 4 or 5 times and hurt Ortiz. Needless to say, with other punches that weren't legal, but that's not the point. The point is he got him out of there twice. And each time he did that, Deontay Wilder didn't learn from his mistakes. Okay? Because again, that is not his game. His game is to go in there and take your punch, and then he'll in exchange do a tough man shit with you. If you noticed, when Ortiz was putting those combinations together, jab, jab to the body, jab, jab, looping left hand, he was beating on his chest because he was trying to, he wanted it to be a firefight. He wanted him to trade shots. He wanted it to be a macho contest. And that's how he was able to put that right straight down the pipe of Luis Ortiz. And let me tell you, like Dillian Whyte said, Luis Ortiz should have been in a certain defense of that right hand by now. You've been in with this guy twice, and you didn't have a record. You didn't have a reflex to move to your left to avoid his right. Okay? And of course, that's Dillian Whyte's reason to say, hey, because he's 45 years old. But even older guys, you notice older guys kind of tricky or has at least some reflex. You know what I mean? So that does make you question, like, okay, well, what was Ortiz doing standing in front of Deontay Wilder? You know what I mean? He had no head movement, and it was like, well, what the hell? You know, but the good thing about that, at least, or hopefully, Dillian Whyte won't fall for that same track. We're staying right on that man's center line so you can get caught with that punch. Okay, so if he's saying, why didn't he move his head or reflexes, that means that he needs to practice what he preaches if he gets the opportunity to face Deontay Wilder himself. But the fight, again, does look intriguing. That's why I want to see the fight, if the fight ever happens. We know the politics, the BS, you know, the pros, the cons, the stories, all that. We've known it all. But you guys tell me what you think about Dillian Whyte's strategy and comments concerning Deontay Wilder. Who do you guys think will win that fight? Of course, leave your comments below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.